Good morning, best friend book friends. I'm really excited today to share one of my favorite stories. It's called Home. And I wrote this book, and my best friend Pam Fraser illustrated it. And the story is going to be told by the main character, who is, can you guess what kind of animal he is? He is a kangaroo. You can tell that because he's in his mama's pouch. And there's a big vocabulary word that tells us a name for someone who is a character in a story that's telling the story from his perspective. Do you know what that word is? It's called the narrator. A narrator is a character in a story who's telling the story from his point of view. So we're going to hear this kangaroo's version of what he thinks of as Home. Home by Lisa Combs and illustrated by Pam Fraser. I'm Lisa Combs. Pam's not with us today, but she did all the wonderful illustrations for us. A long, long time ago, when I was just a spark, my home was in my mother's belly, where it was warm and dark. So a kangaroo lives in his mama's pouch. When he was tiny, that's what he thought of as home, because that's the only thing he had ever seen or experienced. But when I could sleep all by myself, but still couldn't travel far, from where I lay, I could see the sky, and I'd watch the moon and the stars. So his home got to be just a little bigger, because now he could see outside his mama's pouch, just a little bit. Soon, I learned just how to use my limbs to move about. And I yearned to learn all about my home as I traveled every route. Do you remember when you got big enough to go outside and play? Maybe to go to the park or to explore the neighborhood with your friends or with your mom or your dad or your grandma or grandpa? That was exciting when you learned that my home is not just my own house, it's my whole neighborhood. That's an exciting time. Finally, when I was big enough to go outside and play, the grassland soon became my home where I would spend the summer days. So his home got even a little bit bigger because now he could go outside. He grew up just a little more and was allowed to go a little bit farther. Someday you'll be big enough to go a little bit farther than just your backyard. Eventually, I got brave enough to travel even more. And the rainforest became my home to travel and explore. Wow, that looks a lot different than the neighborhood where he came from, didn't it? Doesn't it look very different? Yeah. So once he got a little more grown up and was able to travel even farther, he got to see places that were so beautiful and very different from where he grew up. Do you think he would have met this little friend in his old neighborhood? Probably not. So he got to meet a new friend. As I grew up and got more skills, I found new paths to travel that led me to the ocean with new mysteries to unravel. And just like he met a new friend in the rainforest, he met new friends when he got to travel to the ocean. What kind of friends do you think he met there? Those are sea turtles. He wouldn't have met a sea turtle in the grasslands of Australia, would he? From the blazing heat of deserts to the frigid Arctic air, I found breathtaking beauty and new wonders yet to share. So as he grew up, he got to travel even farther. He got to see deserts and meet an elephant friend. He got to travel to the Arctic and meet a penguin. And in each new place awaited many wonders yet to see, and living creatures everywhere who were precious, just like me. he found out that there are amazing creatures and places to see well outside his own neighborhood, didn't he? So after all these travels, there's something that I've learned. That my home is much, much bigger than just the place where I return. Now that I've traveled far and wide from shore to distant shore, I've come to realize that my home is so much more. Home is where I'm safe and sound. It's where I am content. Do you know what content means? That's probably a new vocabulary word for some of you. Content means you feel safe and calm and peaceful, happy. Home is where my happiest of days and nights are spent. So home isn't just a place, is it? It's how you feel. Home is where I listen, where I watch and learn and play. Home is where my life unfolds every minute of every day. Home is where I'm free to grow, where I can wander and explore. Home is where my needs are met and where I am adored. Adored is a synonym. That means it means the same thing as another word. Do you know what's a synonym for the word adored? Loved. Home is where you feel loved. That's what our kangaroo found out. Home is a place I'm cherished, where I'm cared for and protected. It's where I learn what matters and where my values are reflected. Home is where the others around you show you how to treat others, to care for them and to be kind to them and protect them by the way they treat you. That's part of what makes home home. Home's not just a building, not just a neighborhood or town. Home's not just my country or the place I roam around. I learned that home is any place I can see the moon and stars, and important things don't happen only in my own backyard. He learned there's a big world out there with lots of precious creatures and beautiful sights. Home is a place I care for so that it's a nice, safe place for living. It's not just a place for taking. More importantly, it's for giving. So my family just got bigger and my heart and mind have grown because the moment that I learned these things, the whole earth became my home. He learned that there were people or creatures outside of just his own little house or neighborhood to care about, didn't he? And he learned that there were many beautiful places in the world where he could feel safe and protected and loved and explore and learn and grow. So he learned that the things that he cares about extend beyond just his own home and just his own backyard, but the whole earth is his home that he needs to care about, that there are creatures everywhere that he needs to care for and protect and be kind to. So I want you to think today about what makes a place home to you. What is the place you consider to be your home? It's a place where you're cared for, where you're protected, where you learn and grow and explore and play, a place where you feel that you're loved and cherished, a place where you feel content, that new vocabulary word that means peaceful and happy. And I want you to draw a picture of the place that you think of as home. Now, it might be your house. It might be your house in your yard. It might be your neighborhood. It might be a place where you go on vacation, that you feel loved and cherished, and that you love to learn and explore, and where things are so beautiful and you have friends. It might be your aunt and uncle's house. It might be your grandma and grandpa's house. Maybe you live with people who are not related to you, and that can be home too. It's any place where you feel loved and protected and cherished and treated well, and where you're able to learn and grow and explore. So I want you to think about what home is to you and draw a picture of that place. It could include what it looks like. It could include the people that live there. It could include your pets. For me, home is wherever I am surrounded by the people I love. Whether I'm in my house, whether I'm in my neighborhood, whether I'm on vacation somewhere. But I'd like to see what your home looks like to you. So that's your assignment today, is to draw a picture of what you consider to be your home. And I hope you have a wonderful day, wherever it is that you call home. Bye-bye.